Here we're going to do our quick review of consumer math and percent of change to help you get ready for your test. Again, I'm going to do most of the odd ones, and I'm going to have you come back and do anything that's left over and get those checked when you're done. So Miguel wants a video game. He's saved up $50 so far. He sees a sale at Best Buy and finds a video game originally priced at $70 is on sale for 30% off. Does he have enough money? So here you can see we're going to find the discount amount and then the sale price. The final price after we subtract out that discount. And remember, the discount's going to make the price go down, so that's why we're subtracting there. So first we're going to figure out 30% of $70. That gives us 21. So the amount that we're going to save on the video game, or the discount amount, is $21. That means our final sale price is 21 subtracted from 70. That is 49. So $49 is the sale price. So it turns out that the $50 that he has is just enough to buy that video game. So yes, he does have enough. Although I guess after tax he wouldn't. And on number 3, Angel earned $130 last week, tutoring his neighbor. This week, the money he earned increased by 150%. How much money did he make this week? So last week, it was $130. We know it's going up by 150%. We want to find out what that means for this week. So first off, we need to figure out, what does that really mean? What is 150% of 130? Well, that is 195. So that means it's going up by $195 from last week to this week. So we're going to add 130 plus 195 and figure out that he makes $325 this week. Started at 130, it went up by 150% of this number, which turns out that's 195, and now he's up to $325 this week. All right, on number 5, Walmart buys shirts for $4.50. The store marks up the price by 80% to sell to customers. Find the final price of the shirt if you use a 20% off coupon. All right, so we need to find the selling price, including the markup. So we're marking it up by a certain amount, then finding the selling price that you'd see it at the store. But then after that, we're going to find a discount and final price because we have a 20% off coupon. So first off, we're going to do 80% of $4.50. That is $3.36. That's the amount that we're marking it up by. That's the amount that Walmart increases the price by. They're buying them for this. They're selling them for $4.50 plus $3.60, or $8.10, so that they can make a profit. So that's what you'll see at the store, but now you have a 20% off coupon. So we do 20% of $8.10. That's the price we're getting a discount off of. That's $1.62. And now that is the discount amount. That's the amount that we're saving. So our final price will be $8.10 minus that $1.62, and it will be $6.48 after the markup and after the discount. All right, I'm going to do one more of these. I'm just going to pick number 7. What is the percent of increase from 1970 to 1990? Percent of increase, percent of change. Those phrases both mean the same thing. We're going to do the new minus the old divided by the old times 100. So from 1970 to 1990, 1990 is the new, 1970 is the old. So it's going from 203 to 248. So 248 is our new amount. 203 was our old amount, divided by the old amount again, and then times by 100. So 22.167. I'm going to write it out here just so I have it. $22.167. If there's no instructions on how to round, I'm going to assume that we're rounding to the tens place. So I'm going to cut it off here, just one number after the decimal. But since the following numbers of 5 or bigger, that's going to round up. So it's going to be 22.2%. Anytime you see percent of increase, percent of change, or percent of decrease, all three of those phrases are telling you that you have to use this equation, the new minus the old divided by the old times 100. Don't get confused by number 9. They're telling you the percent of increase. They're saying it's going up by 21%. When they give you the percentage, then you could do exactly what we were doing on these consumer math problems. You find that percent of the number, and then it could be a decrease, so you might need to subtract. Here, it's an increase, so you're going to add whatever that number is. Although I am realizing a typo there, that should say 2025 as the year there. Alright, anything that's left over here, try on your own. If you need help, now's the time to ask.